Hey everyone, this is Adam. So this is the second video that I told you about. Just to continue the talk about my second stage of my bottom surgeries. So as I mentioned in the last video, that my second stage was hysterectomy. It was just removal of all my reproductive system, um, vaginectomy, also just closing everything, taking everything out. I didn't really want any leftovers whatsoever. I just wanted to get rid of it all. And again, that's a personal choice because a lot of people choose to keep things or not to do things, and that's totally cool. Um, and yeah, and then this surgery as well, I was getting my T penis tucked in, and that's also a choice, because I was asked if I wanted it out or I wanted it tucked in, and I chose to have it tucked in. I just simply wanted a clean looking junk, I just didn't want anything at all. Um, and yeah, and this surgery also, I got my pee pipes connected to the penis, so I would pee from my penis for the first time. Whoa, it was actually an exciting moment, but we'll get to that later. So yeah, and I left from the hospital, and I had a catheter in, and that catheter was in kind of like the lower bit of my tummy, just above the phallus. So maybe 2 inches above your phallus, you will get kind of a hole in, and that will be a tube going into your bladder, and coming out, connected to a bag, a liter, 1 liter bag. And that's where your urine is gonna come out from for 3 weeks. And you get a stent, which is basically like half a catheter. So it's like a stent that is in your penis, but it's basically not connected to any bags or anything. There's no tubes coming out. You just half a catheter, I would call it. Just something that is in your penis to allow your new pipe to kind of heal, because you can't pee from a pipe that has just been created. You gotta leave things heal up. And that's why you wait for 3 weeks, and you have the stent so you don't leak or pee from your penis. So yeah, when you leave, you're gonna be given 2 bags of urine, well, to pee in, and that's a 1 liter bag and a 2 liter bag. The 1 liter bag has got like a strap on, and you can wrap it around your thigh, basically. So you just have like the tube coming out to the bag, and you wrap the bag around your thigh. So when you go out, you don't have to worry about peeing or anything. Just everything's going through the bag. It will, however, look a bit weird when the bag is full. Like let's say you're outside sitting with your pals and you have a full bag in your leg. It will be obvious. You will see it if you're wearing. And I saw with all the trousers. You can feel it as well. Will get heavy because it's full. So you need to empty it as soon as as soon as it gets heavier, as soon as it's full. So at the end of the bag, you get like a tap, and you just open the tap when you're near a toilet. You open the tap. The tap will empty into the toilet, and when your bag is like completely empty, you just close the tap. It's really important to close the tap, otherwise whenever pee goes through the bag, it will just leak through that that tap. So it's really important to close it. And yeah, that's basically you for the next 3 weeks. I did receive a letter saying that I should remove it after 4 weeks, but I was like, no, 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 no. They told me 3 weeks, and I was going to I wasn't gonna have this for 4 weeks. No way. It was miserable. I really didn't like it. Like I really didn't like it. It's you have to be super careful with your tube, because if you accidentally pull the tube, you're gonna feel a lot of pain. Like it hurts, it really, really hurts. Um, and you're given the second bag, so when you go to sleep or you're staying in the house and feeling lazy, you can just remove the first bag and put the second one in, and that's a 2 liter, obviously. So it's gonna last you for longer, so you don't have to get up all the time and do it. Um, and I think it's mainly designed for sleeping. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so it's mainly designed for sleeping, but I just ended up not. I think I used it for the first and the second night, and then I stopped using it because it was just really hard for me to sleep with the bag on the floor. The more urine goes in it, the heavier it gets, and I can feel the pull, in my tummy. I can feel the pull. It's uncomfortable. And if during my sleep, I try to turn around to the other side, opposite side of the bag, I would feel a lot of pain, where the tube is. So yeah, it kept waking me up. It kept tugging and pulling, and it was just not a really pleasant experience. I couldn't sleep very well, so I just decided to use the 1 liter bag and have it wrapped around my leg when I sleep. Um, and well, what happens when it gets full during your sleep, that your bladder will eventually get full as well. Um, and that will wake you up because you'll have a full bladder, and that will wake you up to go and empty the bag. And I mean, it did maybe wake me up for the first day or two after I started using the small bag, but soon enough it didn't really wake me up during my sleep, unless you had like shitloads of water before you go to sleep. But it didn't really wake me up, and I thought it was actually a good thing to do, because even if my bladder was getting full, I was training my bladder to hold urine again, because for having a catheter in is not really good for you. I mean, if you read about it, it's not really good for your bladder, because your bladder is a muscle, and when you stop using it, the muscle weakens. And it weakens naturally because of surgery, and it weakens even more when you stop using it because of the catheter, because you're not peeing, you're not squeezing, you're not doing anything, pee just coming out straight away. So I actually thought that using the small bag would train me well, would train my bladder, to start holding urine in again, and that would be good. So by the time I can remove the catheter away, my bladder is in a good shape. It's not like completely fucked. It's still in a good shape. So I thought that was a smart move to go with, and I was happy to do that, and I still think it was a good move, not to use the big bag. Um, so yeah, you'll spend your 2 weeks, and then you're told that after 3 weeks you go to your GP. They will give you something that I don't remember what it was called, but basically it was like a little device this height basically, and let me explain this. So this is a tube, and let's say this is hard. Oh, yeah, there we go. So this is a tube, and let's say that this is the bag, and they connect, okay? And when you take the tube out of the bag, nothing stops the urine from coming out. So even when you're changing bags, you have to be very, very quick, otherwise urine will start coming out. So yeah, you remove the tube from the bag and urine comes out. This little device that they give you, you put it in, and it stops the urine from coming out of the tube. And again, it's got a wee kind of tab, and that tab you can open sometimes, and you can empty your bladder if you want, and you can close the tab again. So I was given that with the bag as well, and I've got the bag as well. And I was told that I was gonna have the stent removed from my penis, so I can start closing the tab on the tube and try to pee from the penis. So like I told you, I was told to do this after 3 weeks, but I ended up doing this around, I think it was 16th day or 17th day. So I kind of cheated by a few days. Like I started doing that a bit earlier. And again, I think it was good for me, because what I did was they removed the stent from your penis. And let me tell you, that is a very unpleasant experience. It only lasts for a second. It's really quick. I'm being really honest with you, it's very, very quick. It's a matter of doing this. It's very, very quick. But this movement hurt. It hurts a lot, like it really hurts a lot. You're just gonna feel the tube coming out of your penis all the way. And I think it hurts a little bit more than the first time I had the catheter. So if you watched my first video and I was talking about removing the catheter during my first stage of the surgery, it was a matter of doing that again. It was just a matter of second, and that was it. But I think it hurts maybe just a tiny bit longer because there is more to travel. So because you've got a penis now and it's longer, because the tube has to travel for a longer time. And again, it's all a matter of seconds, nanoseconds, whatever you call it. Just a matter of very little time, but it hurts. Don't really be put off, because you get hurt for a second, you say, oh, and that's it. So it's not a really a big deal. Just yeah. Anyway, so you get that removed from your penis, and they will advise you don't pee, too much from the penis. Close the tap and let your bladder fill up with urine, and try very gently to pee. If it hurts too much or any of that, you can just open the tap and empty the water through the tube. And you can, when during your sleep and stuff like that, um, um, during your sleep, you can put the bag in a pipe, and that's good. So yeah, that's what I did. I went in and I was very excited, and I started. I left my bladder to fill up, and I went to the toilet, and me trying to push my bladder was actually a little bit harder than usual, because I felt like at the start I couldn't feel my bladder. It's like this mind body connection was erased a little bit, but nevertheless you will feel it and you will pee. And yeah, just starting to push, squeeze the bladder and to push, um, urine coming out during like the first few seconds does burn a little bit. And I think I was like making a lot of noise, kind of like, oh, yeah, just trying to go through this pee. I didn't want to not have my first pee. I didn't want to give up, but I didn't want to push myself too much either, because please be careful, because if you push too much, if you like squeeze so hard to try to get this urine out, because it's going to be hard at the start, you might cause what I think it's called fistula, which is basically like a hole. You don't want a hole anywhere, because with this particular surgery you're at risk of getting this hole near where you've been operated on, like where the where you've been operated on underneath the phallus, if you've had vaginectomy or anything, and you're at risk of having it in your penis as well, like it would leak from somewhere from your penis. So don't push so hard. If it's too painful, you can stop, open the tap on the tube and pee from the tube and wait for a little bit and try again. Or you can stop during your pee, like hold it, control it. So it's actually a really good advice that I read online from one of the guys, and they said that don't try to control your pee. So like if you're having a good flow, stop it, like consciously stop the flow of your pee and then start again. And if you go to the bathroom right now and try to pee and stop halfway, it hurts anyway. Even if you don't have any surgery, it hurts anyway. So doing it through surgery, it's a bit painful, but I think it just trains your bladder to have a bit more control. So you strengthen your control over your bladder. So because your muscles are weak. So this is a really good exercise that, if you think you can do, that it's not too hard, I advise you do it. That's what I did. But this is just my experience. Don't like duplicate everything that I've done. You just gotta wait what you've got, with the sensations, how much pain, what's going on, because your situation might be different from mine, but this is what happened to me, and this is what I decided to do based on everything that I was observing with my body, pain and everything else. So yeah, with my first pee, I paused. I finally started the flow, so it was a bit hard to start the flow, but I started the flow and I paused. I just consciously stopped peeing and then started again. And yeah, it was all a bit hard, but I got through it. It was okay, and I was really happy with that. But because it left me with a bit of pain, I was like, I am not going to pee from my phallus for a good few hours. And I think I didn't pee at all from the phallus that day. I think my first pee was about 4 p.m. and I don't think I peed from it again for the rest of the day. I think I wanted to rest it, because it was a very big move, I think, was based on what I felt and observed. And again, everything is different, but based on what I saw, I was like, I'm gonna give, my penis a bit of a rest to heal up, or if anything happened, it would get a chance to heal up and I'll try again tomorrow. So I had this tab on that I was free to connect back to the bag, but I didn't. I just to wanted to train my bladder to hold even more urine than before. So whenever I just left it, I didn't connect it to any bag, and I would be sitting, or even outside, I would go outside and, see friends or whatever, or go or do whatever. And whenever my bladder is full, I will obviously feel it, and I will go to the toilet, and I will pee from this tap. Yeah, so I'll just open it, or even during my sleep, I will feel like my bladder is full. I will go to the toilet, open the tap, and just the urine will come out of this tube, basically, because it's right in your bladder. So that's what you do when you don't want to pee from your penis. So yeah, the next day I started peeing. It was a tiny bit painful, but it was a lot better than the first time, and I was feeling more control over my bladder. I could stop easily and start peeing again. I was slowing down the pee as well. I didn't want my pee to be intense and pushy and fast. I wanted to slow it down again because I didn't want to have like this fistula thing. I was really scared of that, so I was really mindful of that. So I didn't want to push so hard, to pee or squeeze. I was taking it very easy. And I think maybe a day later, a day or two later, no, actually, a day later, I met with my doctor. They asked me about the experience. How was it? Did I pee well from my penis? Any concerns? Anything? And I was like, no, I'm happy. I'm happy. I want my catheter out now. I'm very happy peeing with my penis. And so yeah, I think a day later, I had an appointment with the nurse, and the catheter was removed from lower side of my tummy. And this one doesn't hurt. Yeah, doesn't hurt. It's good. So yeah, you'll have this. You'll put a plaster on this one because it's really a hole in your tummy that will heal up, and you put a plaster on it. And you have to be mindful of it getting infected as well. You have to be mindful of everything getting infected. You have to keep everything really, really clean. Yeah, because it's a sensitive area. Um, and yeah, I think that was my experience with peeing. So all in all, I think I ended up taking my catheter just under 3 weeks. They initially wanted me to do it for 4 weeks. I did it under 3 weeks, and to me, I think that worked. But for you, it might not work, and what you do is you just base everything on how you're feeling. Are you feeling okay? How is your pain? And basically just test the water whenever there's something new. Try it. Is it really bad? Is it really painful? Okay, stop and go back to whatever else you're doing. Um, Now, in the first video, I mentioned that the surgeon that did my first surgery, and I spoke with, and communicated everything that I wanted, was Dr. Nem Christopher. But on the day of my surgery, Dr. Ralph came in, and he was my surgeon, and that wasn't communicated with me, and I wasn't really happy with that. but I assumed that everything that I told Dr. Christopher was communicated with Dr. Ralph, and it wasn't. And my main concern is the TPness. So I was told from Dr. Christopher that the TPness was going to be pulled up, tucked in. So I wanted it tucked in. And Dr. Christopher said he would put it right under the penis. So you have your phallus and just right under the phallus. And I was like, that's good to me. I like that. I want it there. That's brilliant. But Dr. Ralph left it kind of, I think he left it what it was. He just tucked it in, and it ended up being between my testicles, which now that I have had my third stage, it's bothering me. I start to feel pain. I feel it getting caught, between the two testicles, which is funny. But and also I'm not happy that it's just way down there. I would have rather to increase pleasure. I would have rather that be near the phallus. Um, I'm still not happy about it. I really wish it would have been put where it should have been, what I was told. This is kind of like a surgery. These are really important surgeries, and I think it's insensitive if you ask about something and you get something else done to you. Um, because it's big surgeries. It's not like you can just get a surgery whenever you want. They're big and they take a lot from your health, and they're just they're a hassle. Having a surgery is a hassle. You stop working, there's a lot of expenses, a lot of traveling, a lot of pain, a lot of mental and physical struggle. So I definitely don't want an extra surgery. I really don't. My body is, I want my body to recover. There is something I've read, and that says basically that after big surgeries, the body takes between 6 months to 18 months to recover and go back to normal. Now, I've had three surgeries, a year or 10 months in between each one. So my body never really had a chance to recover. I've been anemic for so long, I've been weak for so long, and now I've just had my last surgery 8 months ago, and I don't really want another surgery. I just want to recover and feel good. But I will talk about that a little bit later. But so back to where this TPNS issue, I would really suggest that when you get a date for your second surgery with the London team, if it's not written in the letter, or if it was a phone call, ask which doctor. Make sure that it's the same doctor that is going to do your surgery, because it's not something that they mention, and it's not something that I considered was going to happen, because I just assumed that if you speak with one surgeon, that's the same surgeon you're gonna have throughout your all surgeries. But that's not true. That is not true. So make sure you do that. Ask which surgeon and confirm again that what you want is going to be done on the day of your surgery, because if they forget, then they'll be reminded again that that's what you want. Um, in terms of the catheter, um, 4 weeks, in my opinion, is far too long, but I'm not a doctor. But based on my experience, 4 weeks was far too long for me. And the steps I took to train my bladder to hold urine, like using the small bag rather than the big bag, I think these were really good to prep me for this first pee. And for my bladder, for my muscles of my bladder to get stronger. And I think all of these steps that I took before trying to pee for the first time really helped making my experience not as harsh as I thought it was gonna be. Because yeah, it was painful, but it was no near painful where I thought it was gonna be. So that was a massive plus. And I was obviously really happy to start feeling from my penis. It's a amazing sensation. It's amazing comfort. But oddly enough, like, even though I haven't had this great function for so long as a man, um, when I did it, I mean, at the start, it was like, whoa, this is amazing, this is great. But I would tell you, 2 days later, from peeing standing up, it just felt normal. It just felt like this is the way it should have been for a long time, and it feels like I've just had it like this for a long time. I kind of forget about everything that I used to do once I fully become in my body, or I've become in my body a bit closer. So yeah, I just had, I started peeing standing up, and it just felt like I have always been doing this, and it's really great. It's really, really great. It's just, I think after the second surgery, so I'm going to speak about sensations a little bit actually, because I didn't speak about that the first time. So after the first surgery, sensations in the phallus were none. I had nothing, nothing at all. It was none. And then maybe a month later, I started to develop some feelings or sensations on the right side of the phallus, but they were pain sensation. It was so sensitive that it was painful. Nothing was on the left side. It was really, really dull. And I mean, up until my second surgery, I could feel a little bit more. Yeah, the sensations were a lot better than, when I first had the first surgery. Um, I could feel some heat, not maybe heat. I can feel cold more than heat actually. So I can, if something cold is on my phallus, I would feel it. It's cold. Um, so yeah, you keep in mind that nerves sometimes come alive straight away, or a month or two later, or sometimes they come alive a year later or 10 months later. So this is, you gotta be patient. But anyway, before my second surgery, before I started peeing from my surgery, my sensations weren't really huge, and I was starting to kind of get scared. Nothing was really happening. And then I started to pee from my penis, and I don't know what it was, but I'm just guessing that it was the mind-body connection was got stronger, basically, because before I started to pee from the phallus, I had really no connection with it. It was just like something on me that was there. It had no function to that point. And when I started peeing from it, I had a better connection with it, and I think it was that mind-body connection. It got a bit stronger, and for some reason my sensations were better. They weren't great, but they were better. So that was a massive boost to my self-esteem, you know. And yeah, that was, yeah. So in terms of sensations, that's what happened. I couldn't really feel anything um, sexual. At this point, nothing was really, yeah, I didn't really feel like I was even close to that kind of sensation. It was just like normal sensation. And I can feel like something is, I can feel that I'm touching the phallus, but I can't feel anything else. But again, at second surgery, I was trying not to be too concerned about it, because I mean, I didn't have the device anyway, so I wasn't, it's not like I can do anything anyway, even if I had, sexual sensations. So I was like, I'm not gonna really be bothered too much about it. So yeah, your sensations hopefully will get better after you stop peeing from your penis, because you'll have a better connection with it. Um, yeah, so I think this is the end of my second stage. I can't remember anything to say about it. Um, yeah, I think that's it. I hope that was helpful to you, or gave you some insight to what it's really like to be in the hospital, or to have these concerns or sensations. I think with all the bottom surgeries, I think you need to be very, very patient, because things just don't happen like that. I mean, I have read that some people got good sensations after 3 months, and I was like, whoa, that's amazing. But that's actually not very common. It takes time, because when they take the graft out from your arm or leg or whatever, they put it and create a phallus, your nerves die, but they do come back. you know they do come back later, but they sometimes take time. Some they become alive again 3 or 4 months later, and some take up to a year, and sometimes 2 years. Like I have had It's been 3 years since I've had my first stage, and I'm still developing sensations. It's just it's a journey. It's a journey. You gotta keep that in mind. It's a journey, but it's worth it. To me, at least, it's worth it. Every stage that I've went through increased my self-esteem and just helped me be confident, less dysphoric about my body. I wasn't like very hateful about this part of my body anymore. I was starting to fully love myself. Now I love myself. All of me. There is not one part that that is putting me off or any of that. More I'm united with my body. We have a better relationship now. So um no matter what, no, regardless of all the pain that I've went through and all the bad experiences that I've went through, I would still go through it again. Not go through it again, but if I was given the choice to go back in time and decide whether I want to go through it or not, I would still go through it because it's so totally, totally worth it. Totally worth it. And peeing standing up is totally awesome. So, yeah. So I hope that was really I hope that was helpful to you. If I have forgotten anything to talk about, or if you have any questions, please do get in touch. I don't know if you can send me a message, but I mean, comments. Hopefully I'm gonna keep with the comments. So if anything that you want to know, I'll try to answer you or make a video about it or something. Or it just depends. Yeah, and just see you later.